like vacation music.
All right, we're jamming.
I felt so peaceful. This is vacation music. This makes me happy.
Oh yeah. Little Bob Marley man on a Friday, man. I feel like I need a little drink with a
I know I need rum.
umbrella.
I need rum.
We should leave this on for just a couple more seconds. Get you
It makes
going.
me happy. It really does. I'm transported.
Hope you like the show.
I heard that.
All right. Before I butcher that song anymore, and Bob Marley's turning over in his grave, I'm going to just mute that and turn it down a little bit. How is everyone doing this morning? We are back on a Friday. It's Command Your Morning. I am Nick Baldwin. I have my amazing co-host, Jesse Newquist. Hi, you're finishing up your second week, and the feedback from the crowd has been very good. I mean, people think you're, I mean, there's a couple things that maybe we can talk about later that, no, I'm just kidding.
I need the bad feedback in private, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so I won't do that here in front of 7 people, but I will tell you that the feedback has been great. So thanks for putting up with me for the last couple weeks.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed starting my Monday, Wednesday, Friday with you. You put me in a great mood, so thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's super sweet. That's super sweet. So I heard that you had a few things that you wanted to celebrate this morning on a Friday.
Yeah. Yes. My good story starts with a bad story. It starts with a sad story, really. But just stick with me.
You want the good news or the bad news?
Yeah. Stick with me.
Okay. I'll take the bad news first.
Okay. My friend, my good friend I was talking to yesterday, in the year 2020, she actually had what she would call the best year of her life. And she feels guilty for that. She got married, she got her dream job, she had a kid, and she got a promotion. That's in that. Yes, in that order. And looking back on 2020, she feels guilty for celebrating it. And so there were good things that happened. I've scoured the internet and I found them. So you'll appreciate this. Number 5.
I'm ready.
So animal shelters, they're 24% more empty than they were in 2019. Okay, so adoptions are way up, and intake is way down. And so yay for animals.
I love that news. That it makes me so happy.
No, really, I do. I'm a little bit concerned if people are going back to work.
Yeah.
Hopefully they still take care of their animals. But that made me happy. One.
Can I say one thing about the pets?
Please.
I have a feeling that because I have one more shot to go and then I'm fully vaccinated, I have a feeling like my cats are going to be so traumatized when we're not home 24/7. You know what I mean? That's what people are saying about their dogs, right? Like people who weren't going to work, and then they go back to work and their dogs are like, "What happened? Where'd they go? I liked it better when you were here all day."
I hate that. I put the TV on. I put the dog TV on for my dogs.
Oh yeah.
I feel so bad. You'll appreciate this. Okay. Number 4. Asian Americans in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So, big deal. This is a really, really big deal. So Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, he's the first manager of Asian descent to lead a team to the World Series. Very cool. And also the second Black manager to do so.
Oh, that is so good.
That's huge. And you'll love this one too. Kim Ng. Do you know that name? She's the GM. She's the GM of the Marlins.
Say it again.
Kim Ng.
Oh, Kim Ng. Okay,
yeah, she's the general manager of the Marlins, and that's the first woman in history. That's amazing.
I heard about that.
Yes.
Actually, now that you bring it up, that's so cool.
That made me happy. That's that might be my dream. That might be my dream job. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Owning or managing a baseball team?
Yeah. GM of a baseball team. Mm-hmm.
Listen, never say never.
Moneyball is one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite movies.
That's a good movie.
100 times. I'd watch it 100 times. So space, it was a great year for space in general. What was the name of it? Hold on. The SpaceX rocket Okay, so American astronauts, they went to the International Space Station. We landed on Mars. We landed on Mars.
Oh, with the rover.
Things were so bad on Earth. We went to Mars. I love that.
This was a good time to get there. It was a good time to get there.
I think a lot of people brushed over this. I honestly do not remember seeing it in the news. That's strange. That's strange for me. But the Supreme Court ruled that LGBTQ employees are protected by Title VII, the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
That I did hear about. It was extremely exciting. That I did hear about. I think I made a post about it on Facebook before it went to this. I think after it passed in the House.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Win. Great job. And then of course, let's see the percentage. 16%. So Keller Williams agents got a 16% raise year over year. So 2019 to 2020, they made 16% more money. We closed $407.4 billion in sales volume. So I'll leave that there.
Wow.
I'm good with that.
I think we had like 10.4% market share last year.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I mean, if you think about it, it might not seem like a lot, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And I bought a scooter. So positive.
And we won't talk about how you fell off your scooter again the other day. We'll save that for Monday.
Appreciate you.
Jessie fell off her scooter again, going 22 miles an hour. Hey, Jessie, I just have a question for you. How many hours a night do you sleep?
I am awake 24 hours a day. If I miss your call, I'll call you right back. That's Matt. Thank you, Matt Teeter. That's a Matt.
Oh, Matt Teeter said that on his voicemail. Okay, but how many hours? This is important though, because I was reading a study. There was a study recently released. Now check this out. These scientists, they followed 8,000 people around for 25 years. Well, they didn't follow them around literally. They had 8,000 people who were participating in this study, this sleep study, for 25 years. And what they found was, now get ready, if you sleep less than 6 hours a night, you better start sleeping more. The ones out of those 8,000 who slept less than 6 hours a night, 30% of them started developing symptoms of dementia. At around the ages of 50 or 60, compared to the ones who slept more than 6 hours a night. Even 7 hours, even that extra 1 hour has a big impact.
Okay, so, this is the part where you say it's fixable and you can turn it around.
Well, yeah, it is.
Okay.
It didn't start setting until the 50s or 60s. I mean, I'm 42, right? So if you're one of those agents or entrepreneurs that's like, hustle, I'll sleep when I'm dead, writing offers at 3 a.m. Okay, well, you're going to be and not be able to even, remember that you are a real estate agent. So stay in bed.
That's
and
terrifying.
Not just that, also taking naps will boost your productivity, and it's not something you should look at as lazy. Like a 30 to 45 minute nap. They do that in other countries. They shut down. Like I know in Greece, I went to Greece
at nap time,
and like at noon in the afternoon, like everything closes for an hour. And I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, oh, we take naps. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's such a completely different mindset. Such a different mindset.
I know. So listen, stop bragging about never sleeping and hustling your butt off, because
go to bed.
Go to sleep.
Your brain is melting. Stop.
That's
terrifying. Thanks.
Go to bed. So anyway, listen, we have an awesome show today. An awesome show. It's a great way to get your Friday. Well, because look, as real estate agents, Fridays are Monday. We know that. You're gonna go show houses. It's like your busiest day of the week, preparing for the weekend, doing open houses and showing houses, and maybe you'll bump into some agents who are with other companies and they're showing your home, and maybe you'll get into a deal with them, and then maybe, you'll introduce them to Jessie or your team leader, and, maybe you'll start making that unfair share. So in just a moment, we're going to bring in our guest, but first we have some important things to get to. All right. What is going on? Aaron Kaufman, the king of profit share, is on the show. What's up?
What up? I'm
Coming
ready
to
to
you
do
live
it.
direct from Georgia.
Yep. Hotlanta in the Hales.
Oh, yeah. How's it going, buddy?
It's going well, man. I definitely need to work on my sleep patterns, that's for sure. But I have a feeling the larger my profit share checks get, the better I will sleep in the future. So
Well, you know what they say, Aaron? That's like making money in your sleep.
It is. It is. But yeah, I'm definitely could sleep a lot more. But there's things to do. There's unfair share to go after. And when I wake up, the first thing I want to do is grow my profit share tree and build my life by design through profit share. So
plant the little seed.
Yep.
Water it. Watch it grow into a money tree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Roll out of bed and start that immediately. Or what is your morning actually like?
No, I mean, that's literally all I do. It's all I think about. It's all I talk about. You guys know me. I don't have many levels to me. It's basically profit share and then me wanting to move to the Caribbean and be a pirate for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
so
Aaron is a very shallow human being. Not many levels. I'm just kidding. No, but your house is almost built in.
Oh no, it's not almost built. It's almost about to be.
Okay, got it. But you're starting to think about building
it called the pandemic. It's kind of throwing a little monkey wrench into it. So, when you're trying to build a house on an island off of Puerto Rico during a pandemic, you got to be a little bit patient with it. So hopefully we're going to break ground in June. I'll be down there in June to hopefully see maybe the first shovel of dirt moved out of the way. But yeah, man. We're working on it. That's where we're going. And hopefully by the end of next year, I will be living there full time. And, if I need some solar panels or something done, maybe I'll jump on a plane and teach a class or do a Zoom session. Who knows? But that's the goal.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
That's what they call a life by design, Aaron. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, we don't have kids. We're not having kids. So, that life by design, one door shuts, another door opens. And that's why when I look at people like you, Nick, and Jesse, I don't know if you have kids.
I do.
But, I know people like Nick. I have friends that have kids with special needs. And I just can't imagine how you do what you do while also being a father and dealing with that stuff. So, I feel like I got it pretty easy here. So,
Paul Stolzfus, who was on.
Yes, you got his name right. Yeah.
Good job.
He said, listen, you do you, boo.
Exactly. But that's the great thing about finding, being married to your best friend, is that people are always like, aren't you going to get bored living on this little island, that 11 square mile island with 1,800 people? And I'm like, look, I already live in an island, okay? It's a 900 square foot house here in Atlanta, Georgia with my wife. We just want to do this with a better view, and more land.
So listen, Aaron, for those watching who don't know who you are, you are a big, you preach the profit share lifestyle, you preach the profit share model. And it's a shame because I feel like 30%, maybe less, of Keller Williams agents are even getting profit share, right? And so, what is your mission, right? What is your mission what are you trying to accomplish by putting this word out there the way you do?
Yeah, it's actually not a profit share mindset, Nick. It's a stakeholder mindset.
Okay.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to do. Look, only about 30 to 35% of our associates participate in profit share, but my guess is probably about 10% of them think and act like an actual stakeholder. And they teach classes, they share their ideas, they seek out knowledge and referrals outside their market center, they participate in Red Day, they donate to KW Cares, they help us evolve our tech. They're not buying leads from Zillow. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do is that, look, if agents in this company actually bought into that, then more of them would participate in profit share. And I'm a big Simon Sinek fan. Everybody knows I teach Simon Sinek. People don't buy what you do, they buy while you do it. Look, the profit share money is a what? It doesn't drive the behavior. There's very few people in this company that are purposeful about profit share to make profit share money. People that are purposeful about profit share they're purposeful because they're having a high level experience at Keller Williams as an agent, and they feel that they're compelled to share it with other people. And if you don't walk the walk, you're not really wanting to talk the talk. And so I'm trying to create what I call a hashtag army of stakeholders, because maybe if more people in this company were thinking like me, I'd already be living in the Caribbean by now. So that's kind of my mindset, is let's get our people to buy into our interdependent value proposition, and then everybody will have bigger lives. All of our profit share checks will be better. We'll crush Zillow, and we'll protect your profession from an industry that's trying to turn you into a low-paid door opener.
Aaron, you went fast over this one word. I want to go back to it. You said agents feel compelled, that they're compelled to participate.
Absolutely.
I'm a word geek. Compelled means drive together, gather up. It's almost as if you're saying agents that participate in profit share. Yes, they feel in culture.
Absolutely. I mean, profit share.
So cool.
Profit share is an effect of a bigger why. Of, hey, I owe it to you to share with you how this company's impacting my life. I heard a great quote from Ben Kinney years ago. It always stuck with me. He said, when you offer the best service, you owe it to people to have them work with you. And that's kind of how I feel about profit share, is that I'm more compelled to want to help you than I am uncomfortable in having that conversation. And I think, Jesse, everybody that comes here from another company, they all say the same thing. Man, I wish I'd come here sooner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you would have been here sooner had one of our agents been more compelled to want to help you than to wait for you to figure it out, right? I mean, don't you wish somebody was more compelled to giving you an MREA book? I mean, I started my career at Coldwell Banker. I mean, God, I was there for 3 years before, thank God, I did a deal with a KW agent that gave me an MREA book and changed my life. So I think the key is, if you believe this company is going to impact people's lives and their family and their business at a high level, it's not recruiting, okay? It's educating, it's consulting. And when you're a great agent and buyers and sellers would be lucky to work with you and your team, doesn't that compel you to help buyers and sellers, right? So it's the same thing about profit share and growing this company. The more you buy into this company, the more you take advantage of all the things we have to offer, the more it's going to impact your life, your family, your business, and probably the more compelled you're going to be to want to get into authentic conversations with people about our company rather than having profit share breath.
You said something interesting just a minute ago about how agents say, I wish I had gotten here sooner. They also say, Keller Williams has been around for so long. There's no point in getting into profit share because I didn't start when the company.
Love that one. That's a good one. Well, let's go right at that, Nick. First of all, our founding agents had to convince people we were even a legitimate business model for a real estate company. I don't think we need to do that anymore. Secondly, we were not even profitable for the first 14 years as a company. So, our founding agents were growing this company on faith. I mean, guys, we've given back $1.5 billion in profit share in the history of our company, in a 37-year history. Guess what? We're going to give back $1.5 billion in the next 8 years, all right? And I'll just tell you this right now. We're the best kept secret in our industry and our company. Wait till the secret gets out and the rest of these agents start to realize, oh, yeah, there is only one company fighting for the future of my profession. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I have no doubt we stand on the brink of what will be the biggest growth spurt in the history of Keller Williams right now. And the question is not whether we're going to do it or not. The real question is who is going to sponsor all these people. And honestly, I tell people all the time, Nick, whether you get it or not is absolutely irrelevant. We will continue to steamroll through this industry and across this planet with or without you. The only question is, do you want your unfair share, right? So the bottom line is, yes, I'm the guy that believes we want to make sure that the people we're already in business with actually understand our value proposition first before we shout our story out from the tops of the mountains, to these agents that are not in business with us. Because what are we building this company on top of? If I'm going to say 80 to 90% of our people don't even understand our story at a high level or can verbalize it. So I think there's so much room for improvement just within our own company. And that's what I'm focusing on, and I think that's where the next wave of growth is going to come from. It's going to come from within, right?
Through others, success through others.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, Jesse's OP
I know.
I don't know, maybe you've heard of her. Her name's Linda McKissick, and
Yeah, I've heard of her.
yeah.
I've got
So
a 2-for-1 deal. I got
Yeah,
the best 2-for-1
Jimmy-
deal on the planet. I
Yes.
got Jimmy
Jimmy and
and
Linda.
Linda.
She's amazing.
Linda is the number one profit share earner in the company, and how many? She only has 32
20,
people.
32 maybe on her first.
32.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
Okay.
her first level.
32 on her first level, and so
We were talking about the other day the
misconception-
percentages.
Yeah.
The percentages. So they hired Nikki Ubaldini, who has about 6,500 people in her
Exactly.
downline, right?
Exactly.
So you never know when that's going to happen. I think we said it was 15 or 18% of the entire company are in Jimmy and Linda's downline.
Yep.
Only having recruited 32 people.
Exactly. Well, Jesse, the saying is, if you build it wide, time will take it deep, right? And so, look, I stand on the shoulders of giants. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Linda and Jimmy McKissick and Mike Brody and Gary Siegel and Nikki Ubaldini. I mean, people, my wife has been telling me for years, stop going around and telling everybody what you do. And I'm like, honey, first of all, they're not going to do it. Second of all, I'm trying to create an exit strategy out of this company. I'm trying to replicate myself so that other people can. I mean, look, Gary, what does Gary say, guys? Build a business that's bigger than mine, right? I mean, I'm the guy that wants people to be bigger than me. And one of the things I love about Linda and Prez is Nick Avila, right? Nick is Brent Mitchell. Brent Mitchell basically taught him his entire system. Brent Mitchell's my recruit. Brent, we do internet recruiting. And I love, I used to always say, someday I'll be the number 2 profit share earner in Keller Williams because Brent Mitchell will be number 1. But now that I see what she's doing with Nick, I might have
added 130 people last year.
Right. Brent brought in 197 last year. And people need to realize Brent Mitchell brought in a recruit more than 1 out of every 2 days last year.
Wow.
I mean, and it's just amazing. So, look, we have a better opportunity today than we've ever had. And I love nothing more than seeing a guy like Nick who has a great backstory. And he just got his biggest profit share check this month. I think it was over $7,000. But I know how much work he has had to put into that to get to that point. And the cool thing, I actually reached out to him and I said, dude, you're just getting started, man. You don't understand. Profit share is like a snowball rolling downhill. The bigger that snowball is at the top, the bigger it's going to be at the bottom. And that kid's what, 25, 26?
Yeah. Very
How
young.
much money in profit share is he going to be making when he's my age, right? And by the way,
I'm glad we're friends.
I'm 48, just so you all know. And people are like, holy crap, you're 48. I'm like, you know what? That's what not having kids and making profit share makes you look like. I look like I'm 38. But Nick is going to be, what a life that kid's going to have ahead of him and the legacy he's going to be able to leave. And that's what I love about Linda and Prez. I don't think there's any doubt that they're not doing what they're doing to make more money. They're doing it to change lives. And that's kind of the phase that I'm in right now, which is, my future wealth building is locked down. I'm here to change lives, and grow this company.
Yeah. So, Aaron, when you have agents that, well, first of all, let me back up. There's something within Keller Williams that is that's very different than most companies. And when you say that Brent brought in 197 people, I'm sure Brent is having those conversations, right? But I would assume, and maybe I'm wrong, he's having like an introductory conversation. Absolutely. And then he's bringing that person to his team leader, who is then going to, do more of the business analysis and business consultation. And so what agents aren't understanding, it's like, I don't want to recruit. You don't have to.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your job.
Here's a great thing, Nick. Welcome. Recruiting is the lead generation business. I am first and foremost a lead generator, period. Okay. And, Brent, I'll tell you, I sponsored about 400 agents off the internet, between about 2005 and 2011. I did it with a whiteboard and my old KW webmail. I don't know if you guys remember webmail, but that was my CRM. I mean, straight up, I had a whiteboard. It was called the Recruiter 2000. Okay. And I would have the name of my recruits when I referred them. Brent, he's a systems guy. I mean, this guy is like a wizard. And, So he took what I did and he just made a system that was so much more efficient. And Brent is so good at the front end and the back end, following up, right? And the guy spends 15, 20 minutes on the phone with the recruit. He passes him off to a salaried employee whose job it is to build wealth for him, and who, by the way, is ethically bound to honor his referral and may not be chosen as their sponsor. And, he's been doing this for long enough that team leaders see him as a source of ongoing quality referrals. And let me just make a point, because I know, Nick, you used to be a team leader. Jesse, you're still a team leader, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Here's our mindset, and this is what I coach on. I have two customers, okay, when it comes to growing this company: the recruit and the leadership team of the market center I'm referring them to. At the end of the day, I want both of my customers to think I value what's best for them than what's best for me. And one of the reasons that we have such a huge success is that we have credibility with leadership teams. If I sent, Jesse, every lead that I got for Denton, Texas to you, you wouldn't take my phone calls, okay? Trust me, all right? So we have a system that filters the leads and qualifies them for us, number one. Let's get real. Our time is the most important thing. But from there, the question is, am I going to ask a team leader or an assistant team leader to spend an hour of their time to meet with this person, right? And so we are really big on not just exciting the recruit, but pre-qualifying them the best we can for the team leader. And that's one of the reasons we have success, is that leadership sees us as ongoing sources of quality referrals. And guys, there's a lot of people out there that I've taught how to do internet recruiting. We built websites, which I'm not affiliated with anymore, but they're not doing it the right way. And they're making us look bad, because they're just grabbing resumes off the internet. They're throwing them at team leaders and saying, hey, make sure they put me down as your sponsor. The team leader calls the recruit. They're not expecting the phone call. They don't know who this person is. And honestly, you're making us look bad. And so I think the mindset needs to be, these are my two customers, and I want them to think I value what's best for them than what's best for me, right?
You've said previously that Keller Williams as a company is almost perfect, and that's the reason why, correct?
The dreaded human element. And that, by the way, that applies not just to our associates, it applies to leadership too. And look, I love you, leadership, okay, but the 80-20 rule applies to leadership too. So there's a reason. I mean, look, when you have 10, 15 market centers that are going to give back $1 million in profit share this year, I'm pretty confident when I say it's not the model that's the issue.
So, Aaron, I remember you and I were chatting a bit ago, and you were kind of discussing your system with me, and it's interesting how it works, right? And you said something earlier that was super powerful. You said you want to qualify the recruit because you don't want to send just any old referral to the team leader. And if you think about that from an agent standpoint, same thing goes. Don't tell me you have a referral because it's just a lead that came in on a Facebook post that you didn't talk to. That's not a referral, because if you send that to me and you haven't spoken to them or qualified them, you're not getting the referral because I had to do the dirty work.
Right. Now, let me add to that. Let me add to that a little bit, okay? Because, I'm a big MREA guy. I run my profit share business like an MREA team. But one of the things that Gary says in that book is, reward the action, right? Which is the referral. Technically, Nick, if you're a real estate agent and somebody sends you a real estate referral, are you going to be like, no, this referral's not good enough for me?
Well, no, Aaron, these are the questions I say. Are they pre-approved? If they say, I don't know, I say, have you spoken to them?
Well, that's great.
Do they want to buy or sell? I don't know.
No, that's a great point. My point is this, is that, and look, I'm the guy that's trying to raise the bar, not just for leadership, but also for the agents. I want them to raise the bar for what it means to be a referral associate, what it means to follow up, and what it means to earn the sponsorship. I mean, let's get real. If I just generated the lead and they don't know anybody at KW, I'm probably going to get the majority of the sponsorships. The point is, I want to earn it, okay? But with that said, I would like a little bit more of a culture of gratitude for people that are at least trying to grow this company. And I get
Yes.
it. You know, if a lead's not qualified, that's great. But what if the next lead they send you is a $20 million individual agent, but they had such a bad experience with you that they're not going to refer it to you, or maybe they'll send it to another market center across town. So I think, you know, look, one of the great things about being on the Profit Share Task Force that I'm on right now is that, you know, we're, for the first time in 15, 16 years, they're finally listening to me. Okay. And I love KW. And, you know, but I mean, once again, I've had to learn how to play the game better. I'm the first person to admit I'm a very passionate guy. I don't always, you know, there's been some things I've said on Facebook that have, that were emotionally driven. And, but understand that we're now creating some real change in this company. And I think the company realizes that we haven't done a good enough job not only training our agents, but training leadership on how this should work. And I'm just so excited about what is about to happen and how much room for improvement there's going to be with trying to grow this company and creating clarity and accountability around sponsorships and training for leadership and how we onboard people. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on behind the scenes.
Wow.
Hey, Jesse, I want to ask you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was going to ask you a question.
No, I just it's clear to me. I might not be your typical team leader. I read every word on the page of the binding sponsorship agreement, and it's crystal clear to me. If a referral ends up in leadership's downline, you're doing it wrong. That's wrong.
I mean, Jesse, have you seen that Gary Keller video that was done recently? I don't know if you've seen it. It's on KW Connect. Oh, but once again, the fact that you haven't seen it is another example of why, you know, sometimes I don't get 7 hours of sleep every night. But there's a video on KW Connect. It's posted in the Profit Share Mastermind group. If you go on KW Connect, go to Profit Share. It's Gary talking about the history, you know, what Profit Share is, but he says the exact words you just said, right?
Yes, you're simply doing it wrong. Yes.
Right. And so the cool thing about that video is that I co-wrote the script of that video, right? And anybody that knows me knows that was a big moment for me to get Gary Keller to say the words that I've been saying for 15, 16 years. So what we need to do is we need to make that a part of all leadership training, right? I mean, Jesse and Nick, you guys have been, I know you were a team leader for a while, Nick. Jesse, how long have you been a team leader for?
2 years.
Right. You ever got any training on how to handle sponsorship issues and all that stuff?
Not formally, no.
So think about what could happen if we start putting that into training and making sure that leadership fully understands what their role is. And once again, I want all talent to participate in Profit Share. I just don't want leadership to be competing with our own agents for Profit Share, because look, as a stakeholder, who do I want participating more in Profit Share? Probably the agents. To call me crazy, I'm thinking if they're invested in Profit Share, they'll buy into our culture more, they're less likely to leave. So look, we want leadership to build their Profit Share, but what we want is our agents to trust it. And that's the key, right?
Here's the thing. So, I mean, I came from a market center where I think if you come from a market center where you are referring potential agents or agents that you're in business with to your team leader, if you come from a market center where when you do that, your team leader then says, you know, who influenced you?
You are here because this person put you in front of me.
Well, so my team leader had a system where, you know, she would let us know if she was meeting with someone, we referred to her. And then when they joined, she would let us know that they joined. So I think if you come from a market center where there is a system like that, you then know how it works if you then become a team leader. So when I became a team leader, I was like, that's how my team leader used to do it. That's how I'm going to do it, because you don't know any other way.
Exactly.
You know, and so it's really, as a team leader for almost 2 years, there were only 3 people that went into my downline, and that's because they were directly because of me. But everyone else was a referral. They knew somebody. Someone was in another state. You have to ask the question.
Yes.
And I want to be clear, guys. You know, when you do internet recruiting, obviously you're not dealing with relationships.
Right.
You have to actually hold yourself to a higher standard than somebody that has a relationship. And I just want to be clear, you know, from day one, I've always asked on my website, ask every lead I've ever captured, have you ever previously spoken to anybody at our company? Do you have a family member at our company? Okay. Do you guys know that I have captured personally over 2,000 recruiting leads through my site that said they knew someone at KW, they had a family or a friend at our company. I found out who they knew and I sent that lead directly to that KW associate, giving them a chance to recruit them. So sometimes when I get a little crazy-eyed and I start getting on Facebook and start dropping haymakers, which by the way, I haven't done in years.
Yes, you've been on good behavior, Aaron. You've been on very good behavior.
And let me put a pin in that for a second. I got to credit my OP, Rick Hale, okay, who had some great advice for me after my third conference call with Daryl King and my regional director. He said, don't be the source, be the conduit, okay? So I kind of have stepped out of being the voice. But here's what I'm saying, guys, is that if I capture a lead on the internet with my money and my time, and they don't know anybody at Keller Williams, and I'm referring them to a salaried employee whose job it is to close that referral and cannot, is ethically bound to honor my referral, please explain to me how anybody else can be chosen as their sponsor. Seriously, I don't know how they can, but it happens, but it's okay. Look, the point is this, it's a price of doing business. And if I've learned anything is this, you can sit here and think about the 1 or 2 recruits you lost, or you can just get back up on the horse and go after more. I think that's been a big shift for me over the last couple of years, is that I'm just going to focus on what I can control, which is providing more value to the recruit, providing more value to leadership, following up better, because I can't control stupidity and scarcity. Okay? So, and if you try to, that's when you sleep for less than 6 hours a night.
And our brains melt. I had to have a system, and I had to be ready for the situation that a recruit that was a referral tried to name me as their sponsor. And so as I tell them, if they continue, I could say, I can't tell you who it is, but I can tell you it's not. And it's not me, though I'm honored. Profit sharing is a gift.
I don't know if you ever saw the old school video of Mark, Mo, and Mary, the sponsorship video, which we're going to incorporate back into training. I think we're going to update it. But there's a part where Mary Tennett's like, this recruit was referred to me by an agent, and they insisted that I be their sponsor, and I refused to be in business with them. Right? Like, I think it's pretty clear. Right? Like that's the bar.
That gives me chills.
Right. So I'm just saying, look. Humans are the good, the bad, and the ugly. An overwhelming majority of our leadership are amazing. They go the extra mile. We could never do what we do without all of the amazing leadership in this company. But I'm kind of an idealist, What percentage of leadership being out of culture are you guys comfortable with? Because in my world, I'm not comfortable with any of them being in leadership, and I'm being out of culture. And I'm just going to say this. Now that we're the #1 company on in every category, and we're literally about to take over the world, it's a privilege to be a leader in this company. And if you don't want to follow our models and our culture, there's a line of people out the door that would love to take your position. You know what I mean? So just I want to be clear that we couldn't do what we do without amazing leadership. But a part of being a stakeholder is holding people accountable. And sometimes it makes you the enemy of people, and that's okay. I'm willing to be that guy that is the squeaky wheel, because honestly, if I wasn't squeaky, we wouldn't be fixing these issues that we're fixing right now.
What can you tell us? What can you tell us?
About what?
About the change that you're talking about.
Leader for, Command for Leadership, right, will be the new referral platform, right? We are going to track not only are we going to track the referral associate, we're going to track potential sponsors, meaning when a leadership person meets with somebody for the first time, the conversation needs to happen like, hey, you're here today because this person referred you to me. But is there anybody else in our company that has made a positive impact on why you're here today? Okay, you know what? There's 2 other people. Great. Those 2 people are now designated as what I'll call potential sponsors. Then Command is going to track this recruit through the process. When they pick their sponsor, which they get to choose, of course, if it's in line with all of our other policies, they will only have the choices to choose as the referral associate and the potential sponsors that were designated in the beginning. And I just think if we do that, then leadership doesn't have to have these conversations on the back end. It's already clear. We've already defined who has brought you through the front doors of this market center. those are the people that should be considered. Anybody you meet on your power walk around the office, anybody's team you join that you didn't know before you referred, they can't be chosen. And I think if we can create that kind of clarity and then back it up with training, and I mean real training for leadership, real training for our associates, these issues are not going to happen anymore. And I think that's the key, is that we're trying to, technology is going to eliminate the human element. And, Jason said something to me, Nick, I thought was really interesting, because, I'm a big fan of culture of gratitude, right? Like, we need to have a much better culture of gratitude for people that are trying to grow this company. And he's like, well, technology is going to take care of that. I'm like, what do you mean? No, but it's true. Think about it. Communication, right? Through technology with the referral associate, tracking the referral associate, honoring the sponsorship process, that is going to create a tremendous amount of gratitude through leveraging technology. And so I'm very excited about how this stuff is going to be implemented through Command. And I don't think these issues will be an issue, in the future.
Well, it's going to make things easier to, maybe not the communication standpoint of it. I think, the conversation, that's always going to be there. But, the opportunity for technology to help us stay accountable and help us stay on track and help us stay organized. That way things don't fall through the cracks. That's going to bring the gratitude.
Right. And how about letting the referral associate know that you actually sponsored this recruit? I mean, imagine I referred you a real estate referral and you won't even tell me if you closed it for me.
Right.
I mean, think about that. You think I'm going to be excited about the next lead I send you? Oh, yeah, I'm just going to wait till the internet updates whenever that happens. And this lead makes, it's like, so I just want people to understand that if you create a culture of gratitude around profit share, people will send you more referrals. It's that simple. That simple, right?
Well, Jesse, where do most of your appointments come from for the most part?
99% my agents.
Yeah. Well, so if you're not giving the opportunity to the agents to sponsor the people they refer to you, those referrals are going to dry up.
I have one job, and that is to grow the passive income of my agents. That's my job.
Right. And I get it, guys. If your agents are not growing it, you're going to grow it around them. But the reason they're not growing it is probably because they're not inspired and or empowered to do it. And I think, I want talent to be vested in this company's profit sharing system. But like I said, a market center where the majority of the people in the market center are in leadership's downlines, they're not very healthy market centers, in my opinion.
Yeah, agree. Hey, so Aaron, I think like one of the problems that agents have is they don't know how to approach the situation. Like, how do I get an agent that I just did a deal with who's really amazing to talk to my team leader?
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, it would be helpful if you're an agent they respect. Okay. So if you're like not an agent they respect, or you don't return phone calls, or you are literally trying to tank a deal over a loose doorknob, okay, my guess is they don't want to find out anything about Keller Williams. So I think, look, it all starts with being an agent that other agents respect. Then it's like being an agent, right? Do you walk around telling everybody to hire you all the time, or do you get into relationships, take mind share, find ways to help people, find the pain? Keller Williams is the medicine cabinet. And one of the things I say to people, Nick, it's never been easier in the history of our company to come from contribution and to help other agents. I mean, if I was an agent, I would be passing out MREA books and shift books like they were freaking Tic Tacs. Okay. I would have paid $500 to have 5 people attend Family Reunion Digital. I mean, look, you get 5 people to attend Family Reunion Digital, 3 of them are going to want to join KW, right? So the idea is, look, if you're not in the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group, right, and you're not adding people to that group, what are you doing? And so, look, back in the day, if you wanted to get an agent to a training class, you'd have to get them there physically. Now you can just share a Zoom link with them. So I think the key is, Nick, is to take mind share, come from contribution, find ways to help people, and then you have two choices. Either A, wait for that agent's why to change, okay? Or B, wait for their real estate company to screw it up, okay? And then you can be in a position to show them a better way. And then the other option obviously is you can not wait for them to figure it out, and you can just say, hey, look, you and I go way back. I respect you, you respect me. Can we just cut the bullshit for a second? I'm not trying to recruit you to Keller Williams. I don't even care if you put me down as your sponsor. But what I want you to understand is this company has changed my life, okay? And if there was a better place for you to build wealth and quality of life for you and your family, don't you owe it to them to find out more? Would you be offended if I had my team leader call you, right?
That's it. That's it.
If they don't want to, stay in relationships with them and keep providing value. And once again, wait for their real estate company to screw it up, which of course they will, or wait for their why to change. And by the way, not everybody's ready for Keller Williams, right? Sometimes they have to go through some pain, right? And my guess is during the pandemic, a lot of people's whys have changed quite a bit, right? So if you're staying in relationships with them and they respect you, and you can provide value, I don't know. I have a feeling they'll start knocking your door down. And I want to be very clear. Everybody I've ever sponsored to Keller Williams, they've initiated the conversation with me. And when you're selling the best product, you don't have to sell it. Okay?
The validity is our agents, right?
Exactly.
So if we're providing value to the community, if we're just loving on people and cheering them on, that over time, that's what happens. Then there will be an opportunity for you to say, this is what models have done for me. This is what Jesse has done for me. Would you take her call?
Right. And Jesse, look, I mean, that's the baseline, right? Like if all you did was do that, you build your profit share. But I kind of believe that our agents can handle providing more value and actually talking about our company at a higher level because, last time I checked, they're hired to represent their clients' greatest assets. I don't know. I think they can handle a higher level conversation about KW without screwing it up. So we need to trust them, right, more. And I tell people all the time, look, we can't have it both ways anymore. We can't be unwilling to empower our agents to have higher level conversations because we're scared they're going to go recruit and then be shocked when so few of them participate in it.
Please go recruit, please.
Right.
That's great. I love when people do my job.
They're dying for more scripts than I love Keller Williams. Can I have my team leader call you? Right. If
you want to learn to recruit, I will teach you.
Exactly.
Also, you have hired guns. You don't have to. I love what Mark King, when he teaches profit share, says. I think every time he says, at some point, someone's got to sell the damn house.
Exactly. I love that.
Makes a lot of sense.
I love that. And Jesse, it would be helpful if you've read the MREA book and the Shift book, and if you've attended training and you've watched Gary Keller's vision speech and things like that, so that you actually know what you're talking about.
Jesse, when you get put in touch with a referral for a recruit from one of your agents, like what's your opening? What do you do to start that conversation? Because I want people to know, like, if your team leader is great and they're encouraging you to send referrals and they are converting them and you're building your downline, I want to know what Jesse is saying when she opens that conversation.
Well, I said it yesterday around 9:00, and she's coming in this morning, about 40 minutes. And it went like this. Hi, Morgan gave me your number. When would you like to meet?
Nice.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not complicated, but no, it's a.
Wait, hold on, Jesse. I gotta write that down. Wait, hi.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go slower. I'll go slower.
You say hi or hello?
I don't know.
Hey.
It's too complicated.
And let me ask one question too, Jesse.
I'm doing what agents do. Like they pick apart every single. Wait, hi or hello? Which way do you say? Hey, like just stop. You just called and said, hi, this is Jesse Newquist. I'm the team leader at Denton KW. And, so-and-so gave me your number. When do you want to get together?
Yeah.
Yes.
Done.
And Jesse, how many days do you wait before you make that phone call?
I do it instantly.
Oh my God.
It was 9:00 last night that it was
You don't wait 2 days. You don't wait 2 days like you just went on a date.
Yeah.
You don't do
No,
the 2-day rule.
my goodness, no. That's that. When that happens, that was my goal. This is my goal, to receive a referral from our agent.
It
Yeah.
speeds
That's
the
it.
lead, just like in real estate.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
It's
top of
exciting.
mind. She just asked if you want to meet my TL. She said yes. Why are you
Right.
gonna wait?
Right.
Just do it.
That means she has her hand raised. She has her hand raised. When she's saying, okay, I'll take it, that means she's considering it. She's
Yeah.
willing to consider it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I love people like you, Jesse, people like Maria DePoche and Jack
Awesome.
Hawthorne,
Great friend.
Paul Stolvis. I mean, you know, and like I said, I mean, they're 90+% of our leadership. And I think it's amazing, you know, what you guys do. It's a thankless job. People always say to me, do you want to be a team leader? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to be a team leader. I mean, you guys, I get how hard it is. And I think one of the big challenges for me over the last couple of years has been to understand that if I want to be the person I want to be in this company, I need to see it from all sides. Okay. And I've been kind of going through that process a little bit as I've taught classes at regional leadership meetings and I'm on this task force. You know, I have to always remind myself that, first of all, I have to remember who pays my bills. Okay. Which is ownership and leadership, not the agents. The agents love me. They don't pay my bills. Okay. But secondly, if this is going to work moving forward, we got to get ownership, leadership, and the agents all on the same page. And sometimes in the past, I think I've, you know, maybe not handled that the best way because I'm an emotional guy. You know, I'm a passionate guy, and it's my genuine enthusiasm for Keller Williams that has driven me to do what I do. And when I experience things that are out of culture, it affects me. It affects me, you know, and learning how to channel that in a way to create positive change, I think is the key, right? Instead of being a complainer, I want to impact change, right? In a positive way.
Well, you are, I love your passion and your boldness. That's what we need in order to change. And so I've always seen you as having very high standards. What you tolerate is your standard. And so I appreciate it. I love the boldness.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a chance to meet with Gary Keller, Nick's best friend.
Oh my God, stop.
Has Nick mentioned when he's last talked to Gary on this call yet? I can't remember.
You know what?
Did Gary send you a book since we've started this session yet?
I don't talk about
Nick
talking to Gary. No, I don't.
Jealousy. We're both sons of Jewish mothers. You know that this is, you know, I want Gary to embrace me into his bosom like he's done with you. Okay. But listen, I will say this. When I met with Gary 2 years ago, it was a big moment for me. And when I sat down with him and told him some of the things that I've had issues with, that I've brought to previous leadership in this company, he said, you know what? I don't care how you generate the lead. You generated it. And this is going to stop. And I got your back 100%. And that's when we put together this video that he did. But guys, like, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. You know, one of the things that up until that meeting, people had said to me, have you ever talked to Gary about this stuff? And I said, oh God, no. Because if he tells me what I've heard from other people, it will literally crush me. I mean, Gary is my why. He is my who, okay? And I've had him on a pedestal. And if he didn't live up to that, I wouldn't be here with KW anymore. So that was a really big moment. And I always tell people, Nick, and I know you can say the same thing about Gary, he is who you think he is, right? He truly is who you think he is. He really
he's also, listen, he's also very transparent.
Right.
Like, if you ever have a conversation with him, he's extremely honest.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's real.
But that meant the world to me, I think, to hear that from him. And look, I've learned a lot over those last couple of years looking behind the curtain. We know that every KW Market Center is individually owned and operated. Okay. Right. There's only so much you can force people to do, you know, and understand that, you know, there's a human element. You have to be okay with a certain percentage of people not fully buying into our model. All right. But that's just the way it is. That's how franchise agreements work. And, you know, I think understanding that has allowed me to say, you know what? I get it now. Not everybody is going to follow the model, but I'm a huge sports fan, Jesse, and I love that you love sports as much as I do. But, you know, there's a great quote from Bill Parcells, right? One of the greatest football coaches out there. And he said, you are what your record says you are. You are what your profit share says you are. Now, I know market centers are in different phases and all that stuff, but I'm just saying that's what's great about KW is the numbers are the numbers, right?
Yep.
And I'll let the numbers speak for themselves.
I just want to say one thing because I get a lot of, not a lot, but I hear frequently that, profit share isn't real, right? It's not a real thing. Nobody's really, if I get into it now, there's really no point. I just want to say, I've been with Keller Williams for 11 years, and I'm not at Linda McKissick money or Brent Mitchell money or even Aaron Kaufman money. No, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes, every now and again, it'll be 70,000, but usually it's not. This year, I will hit 300,000 in profit share.
Wow. That's awesome.
Over the last 11 years. And I want to put this into perspective for everybody. Okay. My mortgage is $1,900 a month. My profit share broken down is an average of $2,200 a month. So it's paying my mortgage. And then I have leftover for, a car payment, maybe going out to dinner, it's real money.
It's not magic. It's
an
math.
average of $28,000 a year for me, which is a salary.
Yeah. Nick, we're going to give back. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm teaching this in my class right now. We're going to give back $200 million in profit share this year. In the middle of a freaking pandemic, we are going to have the biggest profit share year in the history of Keller Williams. The last 8 months have been the biggest months for those months in the history of Keller Williams. And look, I love that people think it's a myth, because while they're thinking it's a myth, I'm building my unfair share. And by the way, a lot of these people that think it's a myth are in this company. Okay. So that's why I do what I do, is that, look, if you don't believe it, that's okay. Right. That's more for us, period. Right. But I mean, guys, if you don't understand that there's only one company playing the infinite game in this industry, okay, you might be able to go to another company in your market and make some fast money. I have no doubt. KW is the long game. This is where you build generational wealth. And I have no doubt that every cent that I put into this is going to come back to me 100 times over. And you don't have to look very far to see the path. Look at Linda McKissick's profit share checks this month. Her and Jimmy and Linda made, I don't know, $150,000 in profit share this month. Nick Avila made 7,000 plus. He just started 3 years ago. Brent Mitchell, my recruit, got a check for over 20K this month. Right?
Awesome.
So, you better believe it's real, and don't make me go Mo Anderson on you and say you're cheating your family if you don't, right?
Please do. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I had my spouse believes that he gets it now, right? And
I saw that post. Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun for me. But also my first profit share check of 48 cents was just as magical. It was just as magical because it's working. It happens. I can see it. See it. So I'd like more than 48 cents.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm working on it. I love it.
Aaron, start generating referrals in Denton, Texas. What are you waiting for?
Okay.
I do love referrals. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's so good. Well, Aaron, I always get a lot of value from talking to you, and there's a lot of energy, and I've seen you talk numerous times. I've seen the Gary Keller video. I think you played that at a class that you taught in my region here in Michigan. And it never gets old, dude. Whenever we need family reunion and mega camp every 6 months to energize us. We need to hear this.
Yeah.
I hope that everyone watching this is feeling energized to send at least very minimum one good referral to your team leader today, because listen, that's sometimes all it takes.
Yeah, and guys, I'm fully vaccinated now. I am booking in classes now. So I would love nothing more to come to your market center and literally blow the roof off of it. All right. Because anybody that sees me in person knows that I'm much better in person than I am on Zoom, and much sweatier too. But I would love nothing more than the opportunity to, galvanize your agents to think and act like stakeholders so that we all can retire earlier. Why not? Right.
Listen, we'll move to the Caribbean and hang out with sloths in our new house.
And Nick, I want to tell you one thing before we end, because I know we're almost done. You have inspired me because I was never a big reader. Okay.
Oh,
I know you've been getting really big into reading. So a couple books that I had prepared for you.
let's see. What are they?
One book that I'm reading is called I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is by Heather McNamara, who's a crime, helped solve the Golden State Killer. She's a big crime blogger. Unfortunately.
Wow. What's that called? I'll Be Gone in the Dark?
I'll Be Gone in the Dark. She was very integral in catching the Golden State Killer. And then Mark King told me to read a book. I think there might be a hidden message in this somewhere.
Okay.
It's called So Good They Can't Ignore You. If you read the bottom.
Oh, Cal Newport.
Why skills trump skills trump passion in the quest for work you love. And I thought, that's a great point, which is just being passionate. Obviously, I probably should actually read it before I actually make my opinion about it.
The title's perfect.
Well, Mark King says read is probably good. I told Jesse the other day about a Cal Newport book that I want to read called A World Without Email. That's his newest one. Yeah. I like Cal because his books are about he's kind of anti-technology, but not anti. He's kind of like the turn it off guy. And, you don't need all of this noise. It's actually very interesting the way he writes.
And I love that you're doing that Anti-Guru podcast too. Because
I got to start the Anti-Guru. Yeah, I'm doing that with Lauren Lucido.
That's awesome.
And we have to get. I have to get it started with that. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. Well, listen, Aaron, thank you so much, Jesse.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Aaron.
Another great week. And we'll see you Monday. I don't know who our guest is, but I'm sure we'll find out.
We will. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks.
Bye.